All right, thank you guys. Great to have you here today. And welcome to SEC Picks and Predictions for College Football Week 11. My name is Brock Page, and I really appreciate you joining me here today. And with that said, let's go ahead and begin with the Vanderbilt Commodores. They're going to go ahead and take on the Kentucky Wildcats, and that's going to be a 12 p.m. Eastern kickoff this Saturday. Kentucky's minus 18.5 at home, totals 42 flat. Now we are 3-2 in our last 5 extra daily picks on patreon.com/BrockPage. And if you want to gain access and unlock today's extra daily pick, it's only going to cost you just $2.99. We're also 7-3 in our last 10 daily best plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. And that's good for 70% in that particular span. And if you want to gain access and unlock the daily best play, that's only going to cost you just $1.99. We currently have over 700 members signed up and active on that site. And if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. And moving on, when it comes to this Vanderbilt-Kentucky matchup here, Vandy's plus 270 for some money line cash. Now, Vandy's 0-2 straight up on the road, 0-5 straight up overall for the season. They have yet to win a football game. They're scoring just 12 points a game, and they're throwing for less than 220 yards per contest. Quarterback Ken Seals has thrown 8 interceptions on the season, and he's been sacked 10 times. His favorite target, Cam Johnson, is averaging less than 68 yards a game receiving, and he scored just 1 touchdown on the year. Meanwhile, Vandy's leading rusher, Keon Henry Brooks, has scored just 2 touchdowns this season on the ground and averages only 51 rush yards a game. Meanwhile, this Vanderbilt defense is also giving up 35 points a game away from home, 161 yards a game on the ground when they travel as well. The Commodores are averaging less than 1.7 sacks per contest. Vandy's lost their last 6 straight road games dating back to last season. They're taking on a Kentucky program who successfully covered the point spread in 3 out of their last 4. Covers against the likes of Georgia, Tennessee, and Mississippi State. And as a matter of fact, those 2 contests with Tennessee and Mississippi State, they were outright victories where this Kentucky defense gave up just 9 total combined points between those 2 ball games. Now the Wildcats are giving up just 10 points per contest in their last 4 outings, playing very good defensively. Defensive back Kelvin Joseph has 3 interceptions from this secondary, 19 total tackles, and a pick 6. Jamin Davis also has a pair of interceptions along with a pick 6 himself. He also leads this Wildcat defense with 58 total tackles, along with a sack and a forced fumble. Jamar Watson currently has 3 sacks on the year, along with an interception and 20 total tackles. This Wildcat D has 11 total interceptions already. They've also successfully covered the point spread in 9 out of their last 10 at home. Now, when it comes to the total in this one, Kentucky's last 4 straight stayed under the posted total. Meanwhile, the Commodores are 2-0 to the under when they traveled this season themselves. Give me the Kentucky Wildcats minus 18.5 and the under 42 in that ball game. Kind of a quirky lean there, but we're going to go with it. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines of personal leans out for College Football Week 11. This is the SEC edition. But before we dive into some more free content, we're 3-2 in our last 5 extra daily picks on patreon.com/BrockPage. And if you want to gain access to today's extra daily pick, it's only going to cost you $2.99. We're also 7-3 in our last 10 daily best plays on that site as well. Good for 70% during that stretch. And if you want to access the daily best play, that's only going to cost you $1.99. We currently have over 700 members signed up and active on that site. And if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. And moving on, we're going to take a look at Arkansas taking on Florida. And the Gators are minus 17, total 59.5. Arkansas coming fresh off a 24-13 win over Tennessee. Held the ball scoreless in the final 30 minutes of that matchup. Arkansas is the best covering team in the SEC. 3-0 against the spread on the road, 6-0 ATS overall for the season. They're scoring 27 points a game when they travel, 135 yards a game on the road as well. Running backs Traylon Smith and Rakeem Boyd, they have nearly 600 combined rushing yards between the two. Meanwhile, quarterback Felipe Franks is completing nearly 70% of his passes for 14 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions. His favorite wide receiver has been Trey Burks, who caught 31 balls and averages 15 yards a catch. Burks also has 5 touchdown receptions on the season. Now, Arkansas also covered the number against the likes of Texas A&M, Auburn, and Georgia. They're taking on a Gator program who failed to cover the number in 2 out of their last 4 themselves. They couldn't quite get the job done against A&M and South Carolina with regard to the point spread. Florida's also giving up nearly 140 yards a game on the ground. And when it comes to the total in this one, Florida's gone 80% to the over through 5 games on the season. Meanwhile, 2 out of the Razorbacks' last 3 ball games on the road got over the line themselves. Give me the underdog, Arkansas Razorbacks plus 17, and the over 59.5 in that contest. All right, next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be South Carolina, Ole Miss, and that's going to be a 7:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff in that contest. The Rebels of Ole Miss, they are minus 12.5, the 12.5 point favorite. Totals 70 and a hook. Now the South Carolina Gamecocks are plus 320 for an outright win. South Carolina successfully covered the number in 2 out of their last 3 road games. They're scoring 30 points a game on average when they travel, 192 rushing yards a game on the road as well. Running back Kevin Harris has 574 rushing yards on the season, 8 touchdowns. Harris is averaging 5.4 yards per carry, nearly 100 yards a game on the ground as well. The Gamecocks have successfully covered the point spread in 4 out of their last 5 meetings with Ole Miss. And speaking of the Rebels, they lost 3 out of their last 4, and that's going to include a real bad, kind of embarrassing 12-point loss to the Arkansas Razorbacks. Now, Ole Miss is a winless 0-3 straight up at home, yet to get a home victory on the season. Their defense is giving up 50 points a game on average on their home field. They're also giving up 8.2 yards per play at home and over 365 yards a game through the air. They're also allowing nearly 250 yards a game on the ground at home as well. Now, Ole Miss has dropped 9 out of their last dozen ball games, of course, dating back to last season. And when it comes to the total in this one, Ole Miss is 2-1 to the over at home, 4-2 to the over for the entire season. Meanwhile, the Gamecocks are a perfect 3-0 to the over when they travel. We're going to lean toward yet another underdog in this one. Give me the underdog South Carolina Gamecocks plus 12.5 and the over 70 a hook in that ball game. With that, guys, that is going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage. If you guys decide to get a package here today, just keep in mind we'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Friday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.